Good morning. We will see storage. Storage and stores procedures are an integral part of any food beverage control system. Therefore, no matter how efficient an organization purchasing procedure may be, bad storage condition and procedure would have an adverse effect on standard of food or drinks hold. Eventually, this would result in organizations to failing to achieve their required cost and profit targets. So, storage is a very important process in the harvesting and maintenance of the crops. The purpose of efficient storage condition is to maintain materials or commodities in the condition in which they are purchased and for them to be safe until they issued to the appropriate department for the use or sale to the customer. We can store materials in storage till we can send them to the market. Storage is an important link in the entire procurement and distribution system of food grains which are produced seasonally but are consumed all the year round. So, the grains procured in Kharif season can be stored and supplied in winter as well as summer season. It helps in reducing the seasonal fluctuations in availability and prices. So when prices are very less, we can store the grains or fruits or whatever foods in the storage and sell them when the prices are high. To ensure a continuous flow of goods in the market, it protects the quality of perishable and semi-perishable products from deterioration. By maintaining the conditions, we can store the foods and vegetables, fruits, all these materials, and we can use them for longer period. It helps in the stabilization of prices by adjusting demand and supply. It provides employment and income through price advantages. Food grains are living organisms, so they are stored as living seeds. So, by maintaining the conditions, they store in control condition of temperature and relative humidity. We can prevent the materials from insects, pests, and rodents by storing them. We will see post-harvest losses. So, what are the post-harvest losses? The losses occurred after harvesting. Those are called post-harvest losses. Total post-harvest losses are storage losses, transportation losses, processing losses, threshing yard losses. All these are post-harvest losses. So out of these, storage losses are more than as compared to other losses. So types of losses we will see. Losses in storage product can be of two types: quantity losses as well as quality losses. So which are the quantity losses? Improper time of harvesting, then inconsistent harvest technology, that is threshing and shelling, improper drying methods, spillage during storage, damage caused by post organism, that is apoptoxia, and quality losses, change in color, smell or taste. Then pathogen, contamination with toxins, insect excretes, reduction in nutritional value. So nearly close to 36% of the crop is lost due to inefficient post-harvest management. So it is a very huge loss. So to prevent this, we have to take care of these losses. The major variables which causes various changes and deteriorations in food grains during storage. Physical temperature and humidity. We have to maintain this. Chemical moisture and oxygen, that is O2 and CO2. Physiological respiration and heating. Biological insects, fungi, molds, mites, microorganisms and rodents. So these major variables which cause various changes. Moisture. Moisture content favors the growth of bacteria, fungi, mites, and insects that cause spoilage of stored grains. So, safe storage are moisture contents of grains below 13% arrest the growth of most of the microorganisms and mites. Therefore, most of the grains are stored 13% moisture. Moisture contents below 10% limit development of most of the stored grain insect pests. So if the grains are to be stored for longer time, then moisture content must be below 10%. Moisture contents within a grain bulk are seldom uniformly distributed and are changeable. The limit of moisture for safe storage of cereal grains in regard to insect pest and microorganism infestation is about 13% to 14%, which is equilibrated with the atmospheric relative humidity of around 70% to 75%. If stored for a long period, its moisture should be below 12%. Then next is temperature. The temperature is another important basic factor to be considered along with the grain moisture and equilibrium relative humidity. The relative humidity, which is in equilibrium with the grain moisture, varies with the temperature. Example, for the storage of brown rice, low temperature is generally used in Japan as the rates of chemical and biochemical reactions are always slow at the low temperatures. The metabolic heat produced exclusively by dry grain is about 1 into 10 raised to minus 7 calories per second, and by wet grain is minus 1.3 into, and by wet grain is 1.3 into 10 raised to minus 5 calories per second. The amount of heat produced by fungi, insects and other organisms infesting the grain is much higher compared to the above mentioned values. Considering temperature for safe grain storage system. Generally, mites do not develop below 5 degrees centigrade nor insect below 15 degrees centigrade. Most of the storage fungi do not develop below 0 degrees centigrade. The effect of temperature on an organism can be correlated with the amount of grain storage moisture. The rate of respiration of grain, the growth of microorganisms, and the chemical and enzymatic reactions during storage also accelerate up to a certain temperature. When the grain temperature rises to around 20 degrees centigrade, it starts getting easily infested with insects and microorganisms. And at the same time, its rate of respiration becomes rapid with the expense of chemical constituents. The grain temperature is always to be considered in conjunction with its moisture content. So, this was the introduction about storage.